this. Here, give me 1 second. God.
Service has issued a tsunami warning for coastal areas of northern and central California, including the following
Starboard engines, full of start!
Starboard engines, full of start!
I got it! Come on!
这是今天中午1点左右，由浙江海宁电视台在老盐仓最佳观潮点拍摄到的镜头。画面中大家可以看到，由西向东的弄潮飞越海棠，一路拍打着堤岸，迎面飞奔。汹涌的潮水甚至越过了防护网的铁丝网的顶端，最后竟然将一段近20米的海棠挡浪墙，如同后面的铁丝防护网一起掀翻在地。而此时记者的拍摄位置已经距视岸边不到10米，新锐在堤岸上监控，大家也可以看到这次潮水的无比巨大的破坏。
ASTA are monitored by NASA to predict potential impacts. Any NEOs that are larger than 100 meters in diameter and pass within 4.6 million miles, 0.05 astronomical units, are classed as potentially hazardous asteroids. 2017 EG-3 was first observed by the Mount Lemmon Survey Observatory, northeast of Tucson in Arizona, on March 7. Today it came within 4 lunar distances (LDS) of the planet, or 0.0112047, just over 1 million miles away. The Moon orbits at a distance of 0.002570, around 238,000 miles. It will pass by again on Monday, but will only come within 55 LDS.
Faces 100 years of killer strikes starting in 2017. A previously unknown asteroid belt has been located in deep space and is now hurtling towards our part of the solar system. It means a global killer could collide with Earth as soon as 2020, wiping out life as we know it and changing the climate for millennia. The terrifying predictions came as NASA revealed disturbing new data showing 400 impacts are expected between 2017 and 2113, based on new observational data of objects seen in space over the past 60 days. Most will have a maximum diameter of around 100 meters, the size of 7 double-decker buses, and the potential to cause significant damage. But concerned scientists warn the colossal monster is also heading our way, with one mega-asteroid threatening Earth in just 6 years. It follows claims this week by physicist Professor Brian Cox that a bus-sized asteroid, named 2014 EC, came within 61,637 kilometers, 38,300 miles, of Earth in March. He said there is an asteroid with our name on it and it is only a matter of time before an asteroid large enough to wipe out the human race collides with Earth. Many believe an asteroid was responsible for killing the dinosaurs with a similar life-changing event, potentially just around the corner. Professor Bill Napier, an astronomy expert at the University of Buckingham, said a strike by either an asteroid or debris from a comet could have devastating consequences. He said, "If something like this happened, depending on where it hit, it would be absolutely life-altering. The atmospheric chemistry would be upset by cutting out sunlight. It would be like a nuclear winter and could last for tens of thousands of years." These comets are 200 to 300 kilometers, 186 miles, in diameter. They are sheer monsters and could sterilize the Earth if we are hit by one. The more immediate risk comes from sub-kilometer, smaller asteroids, and there are tens of thousands of these in space which are quite capable of causing damage on a regional scale. One hit Siberia in 1908 and luckily it was not in a populated area. Had this happened in London it would have wiped out everything within the M25 and you would have heard the collision in another country. And experts warned of the possibility of something much bigger striking Earth in 2020. Asteroid 2012 DA14.
All of us on this planet are on the brink of a kind of close encounter. A big asteroid is hurtling through space, and it's supposed to miss us by a cosmic inch, just 17,000 miles. That's closer than some of our weather satellites. In fact, it's so close, scientists are springing into action, and here's ABC's Neil Karlinski.
Right now, while you're watching this, a chunk of space rock big enough to level a city is hurtling towards our planet 8 times faster than a speeding bullet. The good news is, scientists say it will miss. The scary news is, the 130,000 metric ton asteroid called DA14 is the size of half a football field. And 600 satellites around us, the ones that your cell phone relies on, possibly even smashing one to smithereens on its way by. But if that's why you're thinking this is all still a long, long way from all of us way down here walking the streets, you may want to think again. The last close call turned out to be a direct hit. It was 1908, and luckily it hit the middle of nowhere, Siberia, decimating 1,000 miles of trees, but no people.
If a very large asteroid hit, it would probably create the same kind of disaster that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Amazingly, no one knew DA-14 was headed our way until a Spanish dentist and amateur astronomer randomly discovered it a year ago. NASA doesn't have the resources to look for asteroids, which is why a trio of American astronauts and rocket scientists are raising money to launch their own asteroid early warning system called Sentinel, a dedicated telescope scanning the stars for threats.
This asteroid is a wake-up call that we should be looking out there. These things do hit the Earth.
Scientists say we can keep the planet safe if we just know what's out there headed our way.
Ulchodas, a planetary astronomer at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, said, the orbit for 2012 DA-14 is currently very Earth-like, which means it will be very close to Earth on a regular basis. Professor Napier said the Earth is at risk of two types of strike asteroids, which are lumps of rock, and much larger comets formed from ice which shatter into billions of diamond-like pieces as they hit the Earth. He said though some famous comets like Halley's Comet present little risk, there are similar ones out there, which could have catastrophic effects. The Swift-Tuttle Comet, discovered in by Lewis Swift on July 16, 1862, group warned an impact by an asteroid larger than 1-2 kilometers could throw the climate into chaos, triggering crop failure and loss of life. An impact by an object larger than about 5 kilometers is damaging enough to cause mass extinctions, it said.
NASA is currently tracking 1,717 near-Earth objects that are considered potentially hazardous asteroids due to their size and orbits. Approximately 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by oceans, so an asteroid is most likely to impact the water. An ocean impact within 10 to 20 kilometers of a populated coastline would be devastating, causing severe flooding, destructive shock waves in the air, high temperatures, and hurricane-force winds. The threat from an ocean impact far from land is more difficult to assess. In particular, we want to know if destructive waves created by an impact can travel long distances to populated shorelines. To understand these threats, NASA held the Second International Workshop on Asteroid Threat Assessment, focusing on asteroid-generated tsunamis. As part of this effort, scientists from Los Alamos National Laboratory are using high-performance computing to investigate how an asteroid's kinetic energy is transferred to the atmosphere and ocean. Los Alamos scientists ran an ensemble of 3D simulations, varying the asteroid's size, the angle of impact, and whether or not the asteroid exploded in an airburst before impact. The height of this airburst was also varied. We used X-Rage, a parallel multiphysics Eulerian hydrodynamics code. X-Rage uses adaptive mesh refinement to continually subdivide computational cells in important areas, applying more computing power to where it's needed. Our simulations contain 3 materials: a basalt asteroid, static air, and static water. Initially, all kinetic energy is assigned to the asteroid. By studying different runs from the ensemble, we see the effects of varying asteroid size, angle of impact, and airburst. Here, a light-colored pressure wave shows the asteroid's effect on the atmosphere. In addition, a large plume of water rises from the largest asteroid impact. Clearly, more kinetic energy is transferred to the water in this simulation. Slicing through the dataset reveals more detail. The largest impact simulation shows development of a transient crater and a large plume of water and water vapor. Here we see 2 cases varying asteroid size. On the right are plots showing the transfer of kinetic energy from the asteroid to the water and air. Pressure waves in both the air and water show differences in the transfer of kinetic energy. Colliding shock waves in the atmosphere and water, as well as the wind at the water's surface, hinder the creation of a propagating wave. Here we see the difference in energy transfer with and without an airburst. Whether or not there is an airburst changes how much kinetic energy is transferred to the air and water. An airburst breaks the asteroid apart, so that much of it skims the surface of the water rather than slamming into it. For the same size of asteroid, this results in a much smaller effect on the ocean. Interestingly, there is a stronger wave interference in the direct impact simulation, but such an impact is more likely to create a tsunami because of the greater height of the splash. This may indicate that a tsunami is more likely to be formed during a direct impact than an airburst. Previous simulations had led us to believe that the opposite was true. A feature discovered through this visualization is the pressure enhancement uprange of airburst impacts. Two pressure waves combine to create this, one from the asteroid in its trajectory, and one from the explosion when the asteroid material hits the water. This may affect wave propagation and will have to be studied. By visualizing just the water in an impact simulation, we can study the formation of the tsunami wave. Immediately upon impact, a transient crater is created, and a splash curtain is thrown high into the air. Water rushes into the crater, forming a water jet.
late last night, sparking an awful lot of social media discussion. Here it is right here. Well, joining us now is today Melbourne reporter Justine McKenzie.
It has been confirmed this morning that it was a meteor.
A giant asteroid flying towards Earth. Detected by a Russian robotic telescope, it's one of the largest and most dangerous space rocks approaching our planet's orbit.
This new asteroid is an entirely different story. It's 20 times bigger, the size of a village, weighing millions of times more. It's for now called 2014 UR116. But the danger from asteroids is very real, and astronomers are increasingly keeping an eye out and thinking about what to do if they confirm a collision course.
For last night, a meteor skipped along the Earth's atmosphere, lighting up the sky from New Jersey to Ohio. More than 190 reports have poured into the American Meteor Society.
We are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change, and the last generation that can do something about it. We are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change, and the last generation that can do something about it.
Locals are calling it the Lake of Death as they scoop up an estimated 156 tons of dead freshwater popoche chub. Around 40 million of them popped to the surface last week, not to eat or to jump, but as dead fish.
Boat after boat pulls into shore, all with the same sad, stinking cargo.
At least 10 people have died and 30 others are still missing after heavy rainfall triggered landslides in southwest China. More than 300 millimeters of rainfall in less than 24 hours has caused flash floods and landslides in multiple towns.
The astonishingly heavy rainfall in the region, causing almost 5,000 houses to collapse, 1.9 million people who have been affected.
A warning went out today in Hawaii. Flowing lava from the Kilauea volcano is now less than a mile from a community on the Big Island. A new vent opened up recently, sending lava toward the homes.
Kilauea spills lava in all directions, but instead of traveling down the slope and into the ocean in the past, the lava is moving to the east towards communities.
Lava continues to creep closer to homes.
Lava continues to emerge from Iceland's Bardabung volcano. Scientists are concerned that if the eruption spreads to an ice cap 4 kilometers away, the subsequent explosion could generate ash clouds.
Hundreds of people have died and thousands more left homeless in severe flooding during monsoon rains in India and Pakistan. Large areas of Srinagar, the largest city in Indian-controlled Kashmir, are still submerged. Some places, the water submerged entire homes.
One of the wettest days on record. More than 240 millimeters of rain happened in the last 24 hours. Your monthly average is about 98 millimeters for the entire month of September. So you had almost 1.5 times what you would normally get the entire month in just a matter of hours.
Well, another volcano in Iceland, this one with an unusual problem. The Holoren volcano is spewing something other than lava. It's spewing toxic gas. It's life-threatening near the eruption. And the smell, much like rotting food, is being detected as far away as Finland.
Torrential rain in the Balkans has caused fresh flooding. Here in Croatia, around 2,000 people needed to be evacuated. Surging river waters rose at the rate of 10 centimeters an hour. Slovenia was also hit in eastern and south-central regions.
Hurricane Odile brought fierce winds and rain as it battered Mexico's northwest coast Monday, proving challenging for those who ventured outside. Trees were uprooted in La Paz. Power lines came crashing down. It's deemed one of the worst storms to hit the luxury retreat of Los Cabos.
3 people have been killed after heavy tropical rains caused widespread flooding in the Philippines. Tens of thousands of people in the capital Manila have been displaced. The Italian city of Florence has been hit by a violent hailstorm which destroyed terrace bars in a central square and injured 5 people when a primary school collapsed in an outlying village.
Look at this, carrying cars away during a powerful storm in the coastal town of Jurison on the Black Sea.
Cars, buses, even semi-trucks, no match for the massive waves as the storm surge flooded the highway.
Wow.
This is tsunami style.
Yeah. That is insane.
The moment a sunny Saturday morning on Mount Ontake suddenly turned deadly. The huge cloud of ash spewing from the mountain caught on camera by a Japanese documentary. was terrifying, this man says. The rock was falling like hailstones.
And as frightening as this sign is, the biblical march toward apocalypse is about to get even worse. It's a disaster that conjures up images of hell itself.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with